Alright, y'all, what's going on, man? It's your boy Bruce Lee. It's been a long ass time. Been like, actually, it ain't been that long. It probably like a week the last time. Hold on, my shit right there. Cool, cool, cool. You could unplug it. Okay, so it's been a long ass time since we did a stream. I did not announce that I was streaming on social media because I just wanted to get started. To be quite honest with you, all right. Before we get started with today's video, man, follow me here on Twitch at I'm Bruce Zero BIH. Follow me on TikTok. It's Bruce Zero BIH. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Bruce Zero. We did not stutter that one time. Let's go! All right. So outside of my little random ass weird celebrations, it's been a lot that's been transpiring in the NFL. You know, it's getting a little hot. It's getting a little I'm getting a little third-degree burns in here. All right, it's getting a little hot with certain shit. Okay, so we're gonna talk about some NFL news. Then we're gonna react to a Cameron Suzanne video for those need to remind who Cameron Suzanne is. She does music commentary. I reacted to her video beforehand about like because people were giving in a Grammy take. So it's gonna be a different video. It's gonna be about Brandy. But for now, we're gonna talk about the NFL because it's been a long ass time since we did that. Okay. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about, we're gonna be talking about. Yeah, yes, actually, I said it right. I said it right. I said it right. Check. Discount double check. All right. Now, so the Detroit Lions. So David Montgomery is going to the Houston Texans in exchange for Juice Scruggs. I have no idea who the hell that is. A fourth round pick and a seventh round pick selection. You know what? This is very interesting because, David Montgomery has not been in a full time role since Chicago. So it's been like what, 3 seasons since he's been like the primary ball carrier. So we're going to see how much wear and tear he has and if he's able to shoulder the workload of being a starter. There's no chance that Woody Marks is going to be the starting running back, which is kind of crazy because I feel like that he has a lot of untapped potential. I feel like maybe you could have got somebody like an AJ Dillon to kind of help balance out things. Or like go see if you can go grab Jordan Mattis. I don't know if he's an unrestricted free. Or hell, Aaron Jones. I don't know if there's no way in the hell you bring in David Montgomery and you're gonna have him be a backup. That's just not. It's not gonna happen at all. So I guess it's a win-win. I guess. The Detroit gets some good draft picks. They get a fourth round pick and a seventh, and they get an extra offensive lineman for depth. It's really a win-win situation for both of the teams. Now, real quickly before we have to discuss anything, I've said this before. I don't even really like discussing it at this point because I feel like I lose brain cells to keep talking about it. I even had some guy who I think might be like a racist and shit. He was saying some crazy ass. This dude was cursing me up and down, like saying shit that guarantee IRL is. Got anything else? That's what I thought, bitch. Like, I'm telling you right now, World Star! If that motherfucker ever did that shit IRL, World Star! World Star! But nah, on some real shit. Like, I said this before and I'll say it again. Like, yeah, I know I'll be going too far in here from time to time, but it's all fun and games for the most part. If I don't like you, I ain't talking about your ass. But here's the thing, okay? I understand basic human decency and respect. It seems like a lot of you motherfuckers don't understand basic human decency and respect, and it's because a lot of you guys have never gotten into a physical altercation. Because if you gotten into a physical altercation before, you understand that there's certain ways that you just do not speak to a man whatsoever. You have to be respectful, or otherwise you're getting the beats. But some of you have never been under that or whatever, so you guys don't understand the magnitude. Like, there's nothing wrong with joking and trolling. I think when you go as far as what old boy did, and he was saying, calling me a nigga, and I'm like, bro, are you even black? Cause you got like this old ass Italian looking dude in the profile. I don't know that you got that from a movie or whatever the case may be. I'm mad confused. I don't know what's going on. Then when I asked, I said, yo, if you ain't black, you shouldn't be calling me that. Then he said, I call you what I want to call you. I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. You know what I should do? I should expose his ass. But I blocked him. Take his old miserable fat ass on, old ass on somewhere. That nigga got bigger problems than me. His fucking blood sugar. But anyway, outside of that, my needless comment. But yeah, like some of y'all be way too disrespectful. Like if you disagree with somebody on a football opinion, and mind you, so just to kind of wrap it up, just to make it real quick, I basically said, yo, you're not getting. And so okay, so let me get into the conversation of what I want to discuss because I really don't want to talk about this shit again. I don't. I don't want to talk to stupid motherfuckers. I dead ass don't want to talk to stupid motherfuckers. Okay? I really don't. I don't want to talk to dumb motherfuckers. But I will say this. Okay? Y'all, NFL fans are fucking stupid. Why do I say what I'm saying? You motherfuckers think that we're going to take a big ass cap hit because you want to fucking, the niggas that y'all glazed, Josh Allen and motherfucking, what's the old boy, Drake May, the motherfuckers that y'all glazed to eternity. But like I said, let Jalen Hurts have a again. I've already spoken about whose fault it was that really lost to the Super Bowls, aka a former head coach. Y'all gonna have to watch the video. I have it uploaded on my YouTube, right? I ain't going through the whole. If y'all watch this shit, y'all watch. If y'all don't, I don't give a fuck. It's there. It's available. It's on the I Am Bruce Lee World YouTube channel, regardless. But the motherfuckers y'all got y'all glazed to infinity and beyond. You guys want to the Eagles just to take a big ass cap hit, like motherfucker. That makes no sense. Like y'all just don't make y'all just are fucking NFL fans are just fucking dumb. It just is what it. They're fucking stupid. When they talk about Jalen Hurts, you can tell who motherfuckers who actually know football, who motherfuckers that just run their mouth. Even motherfuckers who know football be saying stupid shit nowadays. So you really can't differentiate between the motherfuckers who actually know football and the motherfuckers who don't. Because now you got former players, most of them haven't really done shit in the league. Instead of reporting the news accurately and fairly and being objective about it, they just say dumb shit for clickbait. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you motherfuckers are not going to get a generational talent. Yes, I said generational. Okay? Don't show me what the fuck is on ProReferenceFootball.com. Because A.J. Brown plays for a fucking super team. A.J. Brown plays with a head coach that does not know how to call X's and O's. Okay? We have not had a consistent offensive coordinator outside of Shane Steichen for 2 years. All right? So miss you with that bullshit. Don't pull up, well, ProReferenceFootball.com or, AJ, you can't be top 3 in the league and be. You sound fucking stupid. You sound fucking stupid. So is AJ Green less of a wide receiver because of Julio Jones and motherfucking Antonio Brown? What's a good example? Let me think. Is Chad Ochocinco less of a player because of fucking Terrell Owens and Randy Moss? You know how fucking stupid y'all sound? Is Chris Carter less of a player because of Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin? You sound fucking stupid. Where your rankings at, or if you're whether you're number one or just within the top 5, it doesn't determine whether or not you're generational. It's your ability. AJ Brown, yes, he did not play good in that wild card. Yes, he needs to hold himself accountable to the fire and stop allowing his frustrations to seep into his play, and just go out there and just go do what you're asked to do. Just do your part, because the shit that you can't control, you can't control it. It is what it is. But the Patriots are Patriots fans and the Patriots organization are so fucking stupid that you think a fucking genius, and Howie Roseman is going to sit up there and take a big ass cap hit that's going to fuck with our team so your team could have a free weapon. By the way, we will also speak on the Patriots a little bit sooner. And you think that a guy who can still play at an elite level, that you're not going to give a fucking first round pick? Have you lost your fucking mind? Realistically, whether the fuck you want to admit it or not, and I stand 10 toes to this motherfucker. Curse me out all you want. I don't give. Fuck your feelings. You a man, bitch. Fuck your feelings. All these niggas on the internet acting like little ass girls. Fuck your feelings. I tell it like it is. I tell it like it is. You hear me? AJ Brown is really worth Micah Parsons level compensation. We're being nice. Philadelphia is being nice by saying Quinnen Williams level compensation. AJ Brown is really Micah Parsons level compensation. I know that you want to devalue him because of his age and all this bullshit factor to try to come to your senses why the fuck you think Howie Roseman is a moron. And you think Eagles fans are a moron. You think this organization has had success and fleeced the fuck out of y'all. You're not going to get paid back because y'all desperate. Draft better, bitch! Draft better! Let me do it right. Draft better, motherfucker! The fuck you get upset with us for because y'all didn't draft good? That's y'all motherfucking problem that Keon Coleman didn't work out. That's y'all motherfucking problem that you Patriots had all these goddamn receivers and they completely forgot it. They have all these receivers, 2 tight ends, a tight end Hunter Henry who's really a top 5 tight end in this league if utilized properly, and 2 running backs who can catch up the backfield. That's y'all motherfucking fault. You didn't put all the weapons. You had Mac Hollins, you had Harry Douglas, you had Stephon Diggs. You had goddamn Hunter Henry. You had all of these fucking weapons. And then Butte, the rookie. That is y'all fucking problem that you didn't put him to use in the Super Bowl. That you didn't put him to use enough this season. That's y'all fucking problem. That's y'all. The fuck you want me to do? Cry for you? Hold on, wait a minute. Fuck out of here. But yeah, moving on from these fucking morons that call themselves NFL fans. Sound fucking stupid. Alright, dog. Let's see some. Okay. So let's go through the fuck is this? Some bullshit. Some bullshit. Aaron Rodgers, no deadline. Cardinals and the Panthers. So the Cardinals are finally getting rid of what's the old boy name? Kyler Murray. It's done with. It's over and done. Stephon Diggs is. You know what's crazy? I made like a little clip or whatever on like social media, trying to make fun of the reporter for asking a question. But I'm like, damn, for him to get released now I feel stupid for even making a goddamn clip. I guess the reporter wasn't asking a stupid question after all. My apologies. I don't give a shit about this stupid ass Hall of Fame game that I'm not gonna watch. And nobody gives a shit about the Cowgirls restructure. They need to restructure their fucking owner. Get their owner up out of there. Rest in peace. I don't know the guy, but rest in peace. What's up? This shit blew my mind. Trent McDuffie. I don't know why the Chiefs are trading away their best. Are the Chiefs allergic to good corners? Because you had Ladarius Sneed. You gave him away. And then now you're giving up Trent McDuffie, a top 10 corner in this league. I think he had a tad bit of a down year, just a little bit. So the Chiefs are giving Trent McDuffie to the Rams for LA's first. I think LA got 2 first-round picks, if I'm not mistaken. So one of their picks will be 29th, a 5th and a 6th rounder, and then also a 2027 third rounder. I mean, I don't know why. Are the Chiefs allergic to good corners? Because I'm confused right now. Another thing I'm confused about, I don't know why the fuck the Seahawks are not re-signing Kenneth Walker. Like that is your NFC version of Terrell Davis right there. Why would you not re-sign him? He adds balance to your offense. He makes Sam Darnold's job easy. He makes everybody on that line he makes everybody's job on that line way easier. I don't understand. I'm very fucking confused. I really am. So Trent Williams might be going somewhere else as well. And Goddard. God is not coming back! I'm fucking hurt! Fuck! Okay. Les Snead. Rams will use free agency to avoid being desperate in the draft. Thank you for playing your hand, bitch. Let me not call him a bitch. Let me take that back. I'm sorry, but this shit is stupid. So, I literally thought that Mike Evans signed a contract for the Buccaneers. Apparently, he's an unrestricted free agent. They're linking him either to the Bills or the Eagles. If you ask me, I think he should go to the Bills. We have no need for him. Him at a third wide receiver, no, it's just not going to work. He needs to be still where he's going to get the ball. He can be an X. I'm not actually, to tell you the truth, I'm really not worried about this injury. If he goes to Buffalo, which I think that's almost guaranteed that's going to happen, I think he'll have a career. I think he'll be another 1,000-yard receiver again. The Jets franchise tag Bryce Hall for whatever fucking reason. Like at the end of the day, bro, all you're doing, and then also the Falcons franchise tag Kyle Pitts. Here's the thing, okay? I have to be honest with you. Some of these organizations have to understand, just give this shit up. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is being an asshole to the players. Like Kyle Pitts' tenure with Atlanta, I'm so sorry to say, this shit is over with. And I'm not confident in Stefanski for giving him a bigger role on this football team. No, I'm not confident in his abilities to run an offense. He's gonna run that fucking offense to the ground, and he's gonna make Michael Penix look really fucking bad. Okay, but for the Jets, you don't have no legs to stand, nigga. You got fucking wooden planks that's been chewed up by termites. You have nothing to stand on, dog. Nothing. Let these players go out there while they have market value because you have so many other fucking holes in your team. And you have to think about it like this, man. Y'all relationship, it's over. Let these players go out there while they're still fresh, while they're still young, while they still have their ability. Let them go out. Don't be a dickhead because all you're doing is you're just being a jackass to the players. You're not helping your team by franchise. Like it's not like so for the Cowboys franchise tagging George Pickens, that makes sense. Okay, fuck the Cowboys. But anyway, that makes sense. But franchise tagging Kyle Pitts for what fucking reason? It's the end of the road. You about to drive us off. You about to drive us off a goddamn cliff for the motherfucking Jets. Let Bryce Hall go. Let him go. There's no reason to keep him. Your organization is a fucking shit show. You might as well go in the draft and go grab another running back or grab however that's going to work. Somebody said that Kyler Murray, and then this shit threw me in for a loop. Drew Dalman, a center after 5 years. I don't know. I mean, he got to be able to have to forego that money. Now, if he don't, more power to him, but that's just crazy. By the way, I want to quickly talk about Jalen Hurts being voted the most hated player in the league, quote unquote. I'm going to keep it real with you, okay? And I'm going to have to bring Ross in this. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck who like it or don't like it. I got to keep it real. Some of y'all ignorant motherfuckers say black people have no like, and there's nothing I'm really sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of every time a motherfucking black quarterback is fast, they want to try to make him to a receiver. No, bitch. Do you do that with a motherfucking white quarterback? They gotta get like y'all gotta cut the shit with that, bro. Every time a black quarterback got some type of athleticism, you want to make him to a fucking wide receiver. Like I'm tired of I'm tired of seeing that shit. I really am. So this dude, I think, ran like a the quarterback for Arkansas ran like a 4.3. Like dog, like okay, first off, congratulations them for a great 40 time for the great measurables. But and at the same time, dog, like let's just get out of the fucking habit. Like I guess you could pose the question they choose to switch positions, but you get us habit of trying to make black quarterbacks wide receivers. Cause I'm actually sick of this shit. And it's like if they want to do that, fine. But it's like the conversation is just too fucking rampant for me. I'm so sorry. Uh, Let me see. Yeah, the Jets joint is just stupid. And I don't know why Atlanta decided to reveal another uniform. Yeah, I got enough unis already. I don't know what this was gonna be. I promise you it's gonna be ass. I almost guarantee it. So Dolman after 5 years retiring. Okay. Transition tag on Daniel Jones. I don't know what that means. I don't care to find out. Anything else I want to talk about? Von Miller not planning to retire. Okay, whatever. Then they called us unserious. Unseriously, take a raw sausage link out of a package and fucking suck on it. How about that? I'm serious. The fuck? Unserious. Bitch, you're not gonna fucking make us go in cap hell and then give us and then fucking so you're gonna sit up there. That's like a motherfucker saying, I'll give you my a brand new 600 $700 MacBook for somebody. Let's just say they got a SCD and they lick their fingers, had an open potato chip bag, put the motherfucking hand in there, put all their saliva and shit, and then handed you the bag and be like, yeah, fair exchange, no robbery. Bitch, if you don't make, boy, I'll make you wear them goddamn bag of chips. Bitch, you better get them bitches away from me, though. Fuck, like, what do you think you is? Like, but that's what the Patriots are basically saying. They got an SCD, and they open up a bag of chips, lick their motherfucking fingers all in it, touch the bag, ate some of it. The bag is open, it's crinkly as shit, and then we got a $700 MacBook Pro for which in this case is AJ Brown, and you saying, oh yeah, yeah, we'll trade you for that. Trade this, bitch. Enjoy that, motherfucker. Tell Adam Schefter to report on this. Tell Ian Rappaport to report on this, motherfucker. Tell Adam Schefter to report on this. Breaking news in this motherfucker. Anyway, I don't know. I still like these teams are stupid. And you know what's funny, man? I'm starting to come to a conclusion where I think everybody is stupid. And one shit. And matter of fact, I'll call a spade a spade. Even I'm stupid too. Even I'm stupid too. But nonetheless, all right, man. We're gonna move on. Let's start. Okay, let's do this, man. Let's watch this joint.
Laura Fine passed dozens of laws to stop health insurance company ripoffs, and she didn't stop there.
I got so much love
Abortion rights and championed
for you, darling. Whoa.
to stop Donald Trump. In life, it doesn't happen alone. Family keeps you secure. Coaches maximize your performance. But in business, who's there to help?
Yeah. I'm rapping on some violence. All my niggas violent.
Cheering Lumen.
Oh, this is loud. This is too loud.
Just 15 years old to a hit TV show. The word is impact.
Mo to the
An impact that
E to the
isn't measured properly. Is Brandy foundation for modern day R&B? Would the genre sound like it does without her contribution? From her title debated as the Little Bible, the teen star blueprint, trapped by perfection, leading to a faux marriage and a car accident that would change everything. Her career has not been without scrutiny or critique, even till this day. So, what's the verdict? How has Brandy Norwood helped shape?
I'm gonna start some shit today. Cause I like playing with fire. Ow! Oh shit, that's hot. Alright, I'm gonna start some shit today. I'm gonna be honest with you. For anybody who had a problem with the Brandy rendition of the national anthem, there's no way in the hell you could tell me with a straight face that Charlie Puth shit was better. And I'm so sorry, as no disrespect to Charlie Puth, in case this ever just circulates back around. I gotta keep it real with you. His national anthem do not motherfucking count. Why do I say what I'm saying? National, like, listen, I understand Whitney set the bar too goddamn high. I understand. Not everybody can be gymnasts. Not everybody is Simona Biles. Those athletes are special. I understand. But at the end of the day, and this is the honest to God's truth, if you can't go up there with your natural voice and your natural tone, do not ask to sing the motherfucking Star Spangled Banner. Don't ask to sing Amazing Grace or Lift Every Voice. Listen, lift every voice at your house screaming at the TV about your team losing. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the national anthem, the motherfucking what's the other joint? Lift every voice. I want to hear your real talk. I don't want to hear no auto talk. I don't want to hear no. Let me buy you a drink. Chop chop and screwed. You officially been chopped and screwed. Screw, chopped and screwed. You officially been chopped and screwed. Like a bartender, ooh, look at me. I don't want to hear that shit. There's only one T-Pain. We don't need. And by the way, T-Pain can actually sing for real, for real. Shout out to T-Pain. Shout out, dog. But yeah, I'm so sorry. There's no way you can have you can like Charlie Puth's rendition. And if you do, if you like it, I don't give a fuck. To me it doesn't count. If it's not your natural voice and your real tone, it don't count. You're better off staying your ass at home. But at the end of the day, you can't like Charlie Puth's rendition and then have a problem with how Brandy did it. Because at least Brandy did it with a real voice. She just has some background singers. Which if it wasn't Brandy, it might be somebody else. I probably would have moved the goalpost and say that you're cheating and that you just want vocal rights because your vocals ain't like that. But that's Brandy's signature thing. For me personally, to share my opinion, I actually liked it, but it is what it is.
Culture.
Not everybody's.
And how has culture responded to her?
Oh, Cardi B's daughter? It's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm kind of mad as hell. She changed. Oh shit. Hold on. Held a message for some reason. Bitch, who the fuck is this? Hey, y'all killing me with this shit, dog. Come on now. Alright, dog. Let's get back. I don't like how she changed to what's her name? I'm kind of mad. I ain't gonna lie. Kind of mad.
Hey guys, it's your girl Cameron, and I'm back at it again with another video. And today I am ecstatic because I'm introducing my very new series, Versus the Culture, where we dissect, debate, and uncover the greats. And when we say versus the culture, it's not to automatically signal conflict, inherent conflict, but to highlight the sheer reality that an artist is more than just their hits. They often speak to the greater culture. Sometimes they fought the culture, sometimes they shaped it, and sometimes they were punished by it. And so in this series, we'll be analyzing an artist and their cultural impact as a whole, whether it's debated, understood, the in between, because there's always multiple perspectives that exist in the same time. From the artist versus the fan versus the industry. But today we look at Brandy Norwood. In the court of public opinion, Brandy has been known as the vocal Bible. But has the culture truly measured her impact properly? Is she the architect of modern day R&B? A true teen icon, sprouting in the mid 90s that was a guiding light for talents like Britney Spears and Christina to take flight in the way that they did. Now, there have been discussions, or lack thereof, of Brandy's legacy surrounding the weight of it and the impact. And I want to put all of that on the table today. As this series isn't just about popularity and commercial appeal, but we're focused on cultural measure. We're going to dissect this like a case file, set the stage, cross examine what the court of public opinion is, and how opinions and thoughts differ from person to person versus how peers in the industry sees them versus how they view themselves. And this is to honor and spotlight those who have transcended time, not only in music, but how have their careers intertwined with the political, social, and cultural context of their time. Really excited to start this out with Brandy because a lot of you guys over the last year have been like, talk about Brandy, talk about Brandy, talk about Brandy, and that glorious day has come. So, like, comment down below. I would love for you guys are kind of like the jury at this point. So I would love for you to share your comments down below respectfully. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And
Already
without further
have.
ado, let's get right into the video. Let's go.
Taxes free kid. Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free, plus get your biggest refund. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. File now.
Exhibit A, setting the stage. Now, we do need to examine her background, the biographical context, if you will, because before the headlines, there was a childhood. So, Brandy Rihanna Norwood was Mississippi born in 1979, Macomb, Mississippi to be exact, a relatively small railroad town of about 12,000 people. Perhaps she felt like a small fish in an even smaller pond. But was she always destined for something bigger? Because Brandy's mom recalls the day she was born and told the doctor,
The first words that I spoke to the doctor were, "You have just birthed a star."
well, for Brandy, when your father is a gospel singer and director of church choirs, church and the gospel is a large part, a huge part of Southern music tradition. And Brandy grew up enveloped in that. We talk about how the girls don't sing in church anymore. Actually, many people have sourced that one specific detail as a huge gap. Why maybe modern day R&B singers do not have the pipes or the skill to be able to execute these vocals, these intricate vocals that you once saw from your top stars, your top pop stars, your top R&B stars, but not Brandy. Brandy was a product of vocal training led by the church choir, her father's church choir. And this resulted in her father being her first vocal coach, her first inspiration, and gave her all of the proper tools to where she was learning how to sing properly with technique and intention as early as the age of 2 or 3.
Willie Norwood Jr., because your father is a gospel singer, right?
Yeah, he sings in church a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually is my vocal coach.
So in every scenario, you think Brandy was going to be into music in some way, shape, or form. Now, in 1983, the Norwoods moved to Carson, California, so a suburb of LA. And her father got a job with a local church choir, setting pieces as a director. And this is where Brandy further received training. And everything changed for Brandy when in 1985, Whitney Houston had her big debut. And this almost single-handedly shaped her destiny because Brandy loved singing as a kid, but she didn't really see it as a career point outside of the church until she saw Whitney Houston. Gave Brandy the fuel that she felt she needed as a young child to say, I can do that. If she can do it, I can. So from talent shows to youth singing groups, singing backup, actually for Immature, which was one of Chris Stokes' groups, to singing in the church choir, recording at 10 studio sessions, Brandy took as many opportunities and auditions as afforded because they were now in LA. But child talent is a dime a dozen. But her time at a performing arts high school, Hollywood Arts, was riddled with confusion and lack of support from staff members. Now, there was a point where she would try persuading a specific counselor to send her on auditions because a lot of agents in the area would inquire about the talent. And so she said, hey, like, why aren't you sending me for roles and auditions like the other kids? And the counselor said flat out,
One call happened to be for a drop-dead gorgeous black girl, I love Vanessa Williams. And she came into my office and she said, Miss Dee, she said, how come you didn't send me out on that interview? And I said, well, Brandy, because you're not drop-dead gorgeous.
so very early on, Brandy was insecure, made to feel insecure about her appearance, how she looked. She felt like she wasn't beautiful. And if we want to have a really honest conversation about it, colorism. Colorism is a large part of this equation. They saw no commercial value or appeal because of what? Young black girls not being the epicenter of what was hot on TV. I mean, while there was network domination in the 80s and early 90s, Syndication and ad revenue boomed, so Americans huddled around their TV night after night like clockwork. This era did birth sitcoms like The Cosby Show, A Different World, Living Single, Martin, all black sitcoms, black writers, black actors, and they took America by storm. So there was absolutely more black talent on TV, but it was still sparse and hard to get your foot in the door. But the Norwoods were an ironclad team and nothing was getting past them. Was her father maintaining and remaining as her vocal coach?
Hey,
And her
real quick, dude, Ray J stole his whole face, and Brandy stole her mother whole face. Just something
mom
I wanted to
was a
add to.
certified momager. The momager before momagers. So Brandy was homeschooled by around 10th grade. Her parents did negotiate a contract with Atlantic Records by the time she was 14.
My name is Brandy Norwood. I'm 11 years old and want to be 14.
But quiet as kept, it had taken some years to get a deal secured. She actually had auditioned for Atlantic Records when she was 11 years old in a girl group, but they weren't feeling a girl group. However, they saw that Brandy had that je ne sais quoi. She had that star quality, and they said, mold that, shape that, and bring her back in a couple years, and we'll talk. And this is where everything was then kicked into high gear. So Exhibit B, the big break and the birth of a teen idol.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible. You can make it. Oh, interesting. Can you generate reports?
Yeah, now.
So you're saying we can all build apps now?
From Barbie dolls to TV show to ad campaigns. What led Brandy to teen icon status? How do we get there? From the girl whose teachers told her she wasn't pretty enough, to then adorning billboards years later, landing a CoverGirl contract in 2001. How did Brandy get there? Well, in 1993, she landed a small role on an ABC sitcom called Thea. It was short-lived, only about 19 episodes. It seems like one of those things like you had to be there to really know about this show. This was a significant part to her story, her introduction to the Black household. It had her on TV. It started to build a vision that Brandy could be more than just a singer, even though singing was always her passion. Had been signed to Atlantic Records around that time as well. Now, the show was canceled due to low viewership numbers as the series went on. There was also some alleged beef between Brandy and Thea on set, which is crazy because how are you beefing with a 12-year-old? I don't know.
Wait. Time out. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell like a quick ass story. Matter of fact, it's gonna be two stories and one's gonna be real, like 30 seconds type shit. First off, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think she Helen from the Jamie Foxx show. I could be wrong, but here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you two incidents. So when I was like what kindergarten, first grade, whatever. I used to be stealing motherfuckers' food. I ain't gonna lie. I ate my kindergarten teacher name was Mr. Cheester. I'll never forget. I don't know if it was a McChicken sandwich or like a cheeseburger or whatever. I ate her shit. Matter of fact, I think I did. Oh fuck. It was what the hell? I went to this place called North Shore. It's like a daycare. I was eating that motherfucking. Now, I was too young to remember that far about what I was like. I remember like bits and pieces. I remember like eating like. I used to like. I'm tired of graham crackers now, but back in the day, I used to love me some graham crackers, dog. Like, and I remember. I remember North Shore. They used to be the bowling alley. They used to have apple juice. I went crazy over that shit. And graham crackers. Them bitches hit the spot every time. I ain't gonna lie. I do remember that. I remember how every time in the what you call it? In the morning, the first class that we take will be art. That I remember. I remember that, and I remember like what we used to be eating at the bowling alley. We used to have like apple juice and graham crackers. That shit was fire as hell. And then what you call it? Yeah. So I did that, and I remember rest in peace, granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? That's my my primary like that's my mother's that's my father's mother's father. He's grandpa, but call him granddaddy. It's like he my great grandfather. Okay, put it like that. So rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he couldn't read, and he opened up his own gas station. Let me not say some shit that's not factually correct that I can't 100% verify. So let me table that. But salute, rest in peace to my to the granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? We had KFC, and I remember, I don't know if it was the fries or the chicken, but yeah, the reason why I'm saying, like, yo, what the hell's I got to do with what's going on? She probably got mad because he probably ate a honey bun or some shit. I don't know. Like, it had, like, cause it crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Beefing with a 12-year-old kid is crazy. Like, the only reasonable explanation I could get is that she had some food and she done stole that shit. That's the only other explanation. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying.
Tension, like on the set.
Fights? What the fuck?
It's actually not a theory, it's a thing. So she was actually happy that the show was canceled, not only because she wasn't really comfortable on set, but because she wanted to focus on her debut career. She wanted to focus on her recording career. And filming was taking away time from the recording studio. She finally locked in, and her self-titled
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna try to interrupt this as much, but yeah, it's crazy because you know what, Eminem is actually a solid actor, and he abandoned acting kind of. Well, he didn't kind of. He had to abandon acting because that shit was time consuming. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, I get it. I guess. I'm
set
saying,
stage, released in September 1994. Three of her
damn, she
songs
making music for a
topped
long ass
the
time, dog.
top 10 of Billboard Hot 100, from I Wanna Be Down, her debut single, Baby, and Broken Hearted with Wani Morris, a 15-year-old girl with a rawness and sincerity on a track. Youth tracks that didn't merely fit the bill of a teen cash track. Diluted music with the mediocre vocals and meanings, because I do believe that teens and children deserve good music. Should not automatically have to be a throwaway. And Brandy was going to give you that. Trendy but soulful, vocally playful. You had the marrying of this hip hop production, R&B vocals, and this pop brightness, the sweetness about her voice that just created the perfect blend, honestly. Well, think about how New Jack Swing had really dominated the airways and was the sound of R&B in the late 80s and early 90s. We're transitioning out of that Teddy Riley New Jack Swing era. You had people like Mary J. Blige on the scene who were coining this hip hop soul movement. And Brandy was in that cusp of artists and class of artists who was helping shape what that sounded like. Like when I think of R&B music in the 90s and I hear a Brandy song, that encapsulates everything. And so it was a strong introduction and built strong, good identity that was heavily inspired by people like Whitney Houston and Janet Jackson. This album was a defining sound and a defining album of the 90s. She was nominated for her first Grammy Award for Best New Artist, from Soul Train Awards to VMAs to BBMAs, with millions of records sold. I mean, millions. She was planting seeds in the hearts and minds of young girls. What could a clean cut teen pop star look like in mainstream America? So Brandy's music felt like this invitation in, and this is important to emphasize how this shaped her commercial appeal, why people took to Brandy so warmly, specifically her target demographic. An invitation in, because many young black girls found her music to be this blueprint on how to navigate fresh feelings of love, crushes, softness, coming of age. Something that I don't think specifically, guys, very specifically, that a lot of young black girls were able to lean into or express openly. And the open space to talk about feelings is not always facilitated in the realm of love and relationships. They could escape with music and relate to Brandy's perspective because she was singing about these topics of love and relationship from this high school kind of giddy perspective, but still very honest and very sincere. So Brandy being able to live in her youth, her femininity, feelings packaged under this girl next door kind of vibe, and the Brandy braids spoke to young black girls very specifically. Journalist Gia Peppers reflected on Brandy's debut, saying, quote, I understood her and she understood me. When my parents would dismiss puppy love feelings as phases that I was too young to be going through, I could turn on my radio, and Brandy was there to help guide me. So Brandy not only hit the charts, but her music became the soundtrack for school dances, sleepovers, first kisses, To be a teen in the 90s, Brandy was a soundtrack of that. And I think that's where a lot of the warmth and nostalgic feelings come from, especially for people who experienced it firsthand. The ethos built for Brandy, which I do think parts of were authentic and honest, but building this idea of the bubbly, sweet, spunky girl next door was intentional in a lot of ways. Not saying there's anything wrong with portraying that image. We will get more into that persona and how that evolved over time. But her exposure was abundant and it was scalable. The sky was the limit at this point. And let's talk about Moesha and further brand expansion.
Hungry Root makes sticking to my anti-inflammatory diet so easy. I just started an anti-inflammatory diet, and at first I was nervous. I wouldn't have a ton of options, but Hungry Root made it so easy. Everything's delicious, fresh, and
You just stupid as Google is free, like that is.
Brandy brought us one of her best tracks, her 1995 track, Setting Up, which actually went #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was made for the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. I mean, the CD was flooded with tracks.
By the way, real quickly, I ain't gonna lie. The fact that she been doing music since like what 93, 94, and she still sounds good vocally, cause most motherfuckers around this time they been doing music for that long, bro. They be sound like Ice JJ Fish and reincarnated me. It's something about you, girl. But nah, on some real shit though, like that's salute to Brandy, cause that's pretty damn impressive, bro.
By Whitney Houston, CeCe Winans, Aretha Franklin. She's seen as this fresh new face alongside a lineup of icons who are excellent at their craft. And that also raises the price tag of it because it gives like, okay, this little girl is sitting up here with X, Y, and Z. Like she must not be a joke. Like she shouldn't be played with. And so the more that Brandy found herself in these higher spaces with seasoned artists, that boosted her credibility, it boosted her credentials.
Would she be a diva? Is that what you call it?
I
Is that the word?
Diana Ross is a definite diva.
Because now I hear you like they say, oh, now you're the next. Define what diva is.
And I think it made even more adults exposed to her music versus writing her off as a little teeny bopper act that's going to be gone in 2 years. Now, we all remember the ABC sitcom Thea that Brandy was cast in.
You know, I was so goddamn young for that.
I will say that this planted the on-screen vision for Brandy as maybe something more than just a singer. Could she cross media? And this led to the 1996 sitcom Moesha, which aired on
Classic.
Fun fact, the show single-handedly saved the dying network. If it were not for Moesha, UPN would have been cut. But Brandy played Moesha Mitchell, who was raised in an upper middle class family in LA, Los Angeles.
Moesha's a 15-year-old that is just now adjusting to her stepmom. She's been taking care of her dad and her brother for the last 3 years. Her mom died. She really doesn't know her direction right now, but she's trying to find her direction. So
There was never an African American girl on TV just growing up in life, in the hood, was smart, intelligent. You never really saw that on television.
And many topics were explored on the show, from sex to teen pregnancy, drug use, race, sexuality, gender inequality, and the day-to-day issues that many teens faced. It was honest, it was open, but it had this comedic layer, and it spoke to its target in a way that felt open and raw, but casual and comedic. You can't have these conversations with your family or friends. Well, you can turn on Moesha. And the sitcom was a phenomenon that spun off and spawned into shows like The Parkers, very directly was a spinoff of Moesha. Girlfriends, while not a direct spinoff, exists in the same universe. And Moesha brought more Black media to UPN with entire programming blocks, night after night, dedicated to the Black experience, right? So Moesha helped spark that.
How you ain't gonna put on Martin though?
Pipeline.
That's crazy. Come on.
And Brady was the face of that change for 6 seasons and 127 episodes. Now, we know that Whitney Houston is Brandy's biggest inspiration.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I hope that I do what the fuck I was supposed to do with this music shit and this entertainment. Oh shit. It's entertainment shit. Cause I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how I'd react if Kehlani would come up to me, bro. Like, for those that follow, y'all know Kehlani my favorite artist of all time. Hip hop, R&B, it don't matter what the genre is. She my favorite artist. I ain't gonna lie. I'll probably, man. Shit. Boy, speaking of folded, boy, straight origami, bruh. Hope I don't faint. Hope I sit there like a Jeep, like, hey, how you doing? My silly ass probably gonna do something. I don't know. Hopefully I don't scream like no little ass girl or something. I don't know.
But at this time, it was about the mid, mid to late 90s, and Whitney Houston had been shopping film and scripts to start producing more media. So you guys will see in the future, she did movies like The Cheetah Girls. She was a producer for that. And
Whoa,
she was
what?
also an executive producer for Sparkle, which we talked about in Jordan Sparks'
Oh,
video.
I'm not surprised by
But
that.
this whole producer visionary and producer mission started for Whitney in the early 90s. She had been trying to acquire the rights of some films, and she had her eye on Cinderella since about like 1992, 1993. But the year was finally 1997, and they were ready to pull that trigger. Whitney handpicked Brandy for the 1997 TV musical remake of Cinderella.
Was Cinderella to me, she played the part, and I suggested Brandy.
Now, as a child,
I ain't gonna lie to you. You know the goddamn what the fuck you call it? Oh, dang. Yeah. Oh shit. I had what I wanted to say, then I just literally forgot it. As soon as as soon as I was ready, I forgot it. What you call it? Damn. What the? I've just blanked out. Oh yeah. So you know how they be saying, oh yeah, don't meet your idols, which I don't idolize nobody. I believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. That whole interaction or how Whitney's relationship is with Brandy, that literally debunks the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you should be. If somebody inspired, but I see a fella always be like, yo, you inspire me, whatever. Man, we straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I sit up there and be like, I don't understand how some of y'all niggas be. Yeah, I'm talking to men and women, bro. How y'all see somebody that's like clearly influenced by you or like took a liking to you or whatever, or was inspired by you once they perform and you throw your nose in the air at them. Like that shit to me, I don't give a fuck. Man or woman, I don't care who y'all are. Y'all corny as fuck when y'all do that. I ain't gonna lie.
Nine, so it was 2 years after this movie came out. But we had the VHS tape. And when I tell you I ran this
I did not. I ain't gonna lie.
like this movie means everything to me. The mama was black, the daddy was white, the son was Asian, colorblind casting. It was kind of revolutionary, but it was beautiful in the sense that it defied barriers. Multicultural cast. But to children, it was a lesson on unity, acceptance, and seeing people as people, not merely for their skin color or their race. Like, it didn't have to make sense. She actually became the first black actress to portray Cinderella on screen. So, to have the greatest vocalist of all time and your idol give you that cosign, vouch for you.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, son. This really debunks it. Think about it like this. So not only did the interaction go good, you put in a good word for me to be a part of a project that you working on, son. That's why Whitney. That's why I love you, Whitney. And that's why we love Whitney. Fuck you talking about?
Alongside her, so she
Rest in peace, the queen, dog. Come on now.
serious endorsement. And the ABC special aired, garnering over 60 million views. I mean, this is what domination looked like. Brandy was this vessel, especially for young black girls, that maybe the sky was the limit. A teen icon was then born, and into the headphones, boomboxes, and CD players of teens across the country to gracing the screens of American television sets, shit, globally, if you had access to it. So that level of visibility was
I ain't gonna lie. That
nothing
curse word threw me off guard. I ain't gonna lie.
taken lightly. And Brandy took this representation very seriously. You know, before the Lizzie McGuire's and the
I gotta throw in a little quick joke real quick. You know what I'm saying? They were like, yeah. So what we have here in this particular endeavor is to try to understand and relate to each other. Because at the end of the day, all you motherfuckers is broke. But yeah. So just kind of getting back on topic. Um, each and every one of us must collaborate in order to reach a higher standard, so we don't be on bullshit about how certain things would evolve. And
Selena Gomez.
it's all jokes. You know, hey Cameron, if you ever see this, I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? I love you, know.
Brandy was laying a foundation and framework on how you could do all of it. To be the star of the show, to do the music, to be here to make good music, to chart, and to be a role model. So from Nick to 17 magazine, Barbie dolls, ads,
I one
even
that thought I
comic
was
books,
funny as
even
hell.
promotion. There was a point where Brandy was much bigger than just a singer, something that she did juggle with, and it caused a lot of exhaustion and stress and pressure on her to show that black girls didn't have to be adultified or grow up fast to receive mainstream attention and make money is huge. So that spawned into world tours, films, subsequent seasons of Moesha. Now, Exhibit C, musical notes. This is where we will
Hey,
jump.
real quickly, I'ma throw in maybe an unnecessary comment, but it's necessary because I say what the hell I want to say on my channel. People don't understand. You look at this like, oh man, I want this life. No, you don't. I do, but no, you don't. You get no sleep. You on the road all day, every day. So this shit may look glamorous. Oh, I'm in every movie. I'm doing music and all that. No, it ain't. No, it's a lot of hard work. You know what I'm saying?
Some of
Tell
her
you.
discography
Big things in a
in a
robbery.
way that feels compacted but descriptive. So let's talk about her technique. Brandy is the queen of harmony and vocal stacking, hands down, point blank, period. There's this warmth in her harmonies that feel immersive.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. Let me shout out old boy real quick. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let's see if I can pull him up, bro. I want to give a shout out real quick. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What's the old boy name? I should find him because I low key recently who the fuck is you say X? Why my phone? Whatever. What the hell is what's the name? I literally just followed him recently. I should see where he's at. Dog. What the hell? How I can't find him? I just followed him, dog. Oh. You know what? I can go to some of my saved videos. Can find them that way. You feel me? Yeah. That's not it. I should be able to find it soon. Where's it at? Oh, then my boy hit a millie. Alright, so Davion J, shout out to you. You one of my favorite content creators on TikTok, period. Like, the vocal stacking shit, I hate. I'm an artist. I hate that shit to the core. Like, I like how it sounds, and you do need it in certain respects because you can use reverb to make shit bigger, but sometimes if sometimes the music calls for vocal stacking. Even if you're just gonna do four, which I'm gonna be honest, I will never do more than four. I don't understand how niggas can find joy in making 16, 32. Hell the fuck no. Absolutely not. The only 16 I know is Joe Montana, and only 32 I know is motherfucking Franco Harris. I'm not doing all the goddamn. That's too much. Give me four. Maybe if I feel good, not on my own slow ass computer, but in the studio, maybe eight. But I ain't gonna lie to you. The shit is four, and that's it. And sometimes I even have trouble wanting to do four. Like I hate vocal stacking. Like I love the way it sounds, and I understand that it is necessary, and I do use it as a tool because sometimes you need to vocal stack in order for the vision to come to fruition. But I hate the fucking process because it's like you gotta repeat the line, and then you gotta make it sound good, and then you gotta literally match exactly the previous take so the shit don't sound all over the place. So it gotta sound good, and it gotta like every little nuance of the vocal has to match when you keep duplicating it. It's annoying as fuck. And then you gotta change up your tones and shit. And I'll be like, damn, I'm going to the deep voice in this one, high, you know what I'm saying? So it's annoying.
And blend so seamlessly, but they're also very intentional. That feeling of fullness. Choir like background vocals, but it's all her. It sounds like one person singing, right? But you have all of these pieces. It's almost hard to know where it ends and where it begins. Her voice was being used as this instrument and this tool. Like my girl from a young age. Remember, she started recording in the studio when she was 10. She started stacking at about 10 years old. For her debut when she was about 15, she was building those harmonies. She was punching herself in. She was vocal producing herself. A lot of Brandy's genius was innate. and great training from her father, right? She had a great ear. Versus, the average teen they would throw in a studio and be like, sing, just sing the lead vocal, sing on top of it. This is what you do. Also, her tones, her raspy quality to it that has a lovely grit, but she has a beautiful breathy voice as well. Like she can go from her head voice to her chest voice and navigate in between. And a lot of that is informed by the emotional delivery. So what are the lyrics saying? And that's how she delivered the line. It's so controlled. So these are some of the whims and the charm of Brandy's voice. Brandy's discography spans the wealth of 8 albums. We talked about her debut, which has been hailed as one of the best albums of the 1990s. Then you have her 1998 Dark
This is
Pop
my
produced
favorite
album,
one right
which
here,
is
my
where
favorite
I
album.
think Brandy really arrived, and it was this world domination moment. This is where she landed her first #1 record with The Boy's Mind featuring Monica. And that would become the biggest hit of 1998. And this album is a bit more adult contemporary, where she solidified her voice and grew up a little bit. And her maturity showed more in that lyrical content within Never Say Never.
Like I have more input on this album. My feelings are more mature.
Because Brandy by this point had been in relationships, some of which had been brought public, but she had more of a perspective.
Damn, she was
Happy
amazing.
Never became her second #1 track. It was this beautiful power ballad. It showed that she had this emotional depth. It spoke to audiences. And by this point, by her second album, I feel like Brandy not only started to master her craft, but perfect her sound. Like you turn on a track, it was like, oh, this is a Brandy track. Selling 16 million copies worldwide. How to break
Damn!
territory while upping the quality of your music, the topical nature of the music, but it still feels like it belongs in the same universe.
I'm not scared of transforming into
Oh shit.
Not like she popped up was like, I'm grown now and took off the trench coat. Like no, it was still very seamless. Very seamless. Then you had her third album, Full Moon, which arrived in
It's a classic too. It's a classic too.
in pop culture, Y2K futurism was a frequented aesthetic. We are in the future, flying cars and shit. No, we're talking everything is blue and silver. The optimism for the new millennium and the dot-com boom, Full Moon taps into this aesthetic sonically, right, in an R&B pop form. But it's important to note that Full Moon is a controversial album, maybe perhaps the most polarizing album in her discography. Because at the time, Rolling Stone found this album to be frantic, faceless, fake, sexy R&B. Or
I know that motherfucker had to be a member of the WCC for sure. If y'all know what the WCC is, go look that shit up. That nigga was a member of the WCC for sure. Saying dumbass shit. That album's a fucking class. Shut your ass up, nigga. Hold on, my fault. I gotta clean my glasses. Shit.
ME. So
Velvet Bucket is a slush.
A lot of critics and publications that were not fond of the album. A lot of fans and peers and people in the R&B space have said that this was the album. The harmony stacking, this is what stamped her as the vocal Bible. This was an album that a lot of people were starting to study at this point. It was ahead of its time. However, the album sold about 1 million copies, so it did really, really well. Shoot, you go to It's Not Worth It. That's my favorite on the album. I love It's Not Worth It. That has vocals from Michael Jackson. So this album right here, I think is my favorite of Brandy's, and people would argue her most influential from a musical standpoint in pushing the culture forward. And at this time, Moesha had ended. She was pregnant during this album, which we will get into, okay? But she was pregnant at this time. She was married.
Did you actually get married?
Listen, I can't give you a date of time.
We'll talk about. So there was a lot of personal things happening in her life, which made for a lot more lyrical content. You'll see with each Brandy album, I think the perspective, the writing perspective, shows more depth and she starts peeling back more layers. Then you had Aphrodisiac in 2004. This was
Hold on, my fault. I'm up here showing y'all all my recommended. Mind your business. Alright, but no, it's a real shit though. I low-key thought this was put out like 2007 to 2009. I did not know it was 2004. That is interesting.
By Timbaland. He was one of the hottest things out right now for Brandy. There was this clean house of production, management, and A&R behind the scene. And this signaled a new era of her career. She was shedding her skin. Okay, who is grown up adult Brandy who's not the teen star anymore?
This is the most honest album of my career.
It was lyrically intimate and autobiographical in a lot of ways, honest, anxious, and more mature. Brandy had lived life, a lot of life at this point, okay? And this was a moment where, yes, I think artistically, and critics would agree, that it was a step up, but was it commercially consumed? No. I think by the Aphrodisiac era, 2004, is she starting to decline commercially? Like, is it really starting to take a nosedive at this point? And I say decline commercially. I'm emphasizing commercially because the music was great. So there was about over 400,000 records sold in the US,
That ain't
which
bad.
was a stark contrast from first album that sold 2-3 million, the second that it sold 16, the third that it sold 1 million. So we see a
Think
huge
about it like this. Banks, I think, sold like 300K with a Hunger for More album. I think in the same year. That's just a classic, top to bottom. So it don't. I don't. Sales don't really matter.
and it had only been 2 years. Brandy and Timbaland would find frustration with his performance. They were not happy with how this album performed. They thought it should have been a smash, saying that there was label interference. Again, a lot of things were shifting in the background due to politics, creative differences, and mismanagement aiding in the album's underperformance. And in the very last track, Should I Go, it's an honest entry of Brandy questioning if her time in the industry is up. And that's a statement, a very honest statement to make in the music. So she was definitely in limbo. And then we had Human in 2008. Glossy production gives this R&B pop flavor.
Wait a minute. What the hell happened in the last 4 years? Hopefully she'll get into it, cause that's
This
a
pop
big ass
sound,
gap.
big chorus energy, which was really popular at the time, electronic details, and emotional, dramatic delivery. Like this was very 2008, very 2008, digital pop. I mean, it was actually her debut on Epic Records. She had left Atlantic after about 15 years. So it was a huge deal. We're changing the guards. Where do they see Brandy's career going? And although she was meeting top 40 listeners where they were at, were the listeners connecting? It didn't really gain the traction that they wanted it to. So perhaps while the album was reflective, it was emotional. This was also the time of recession pop, baby. Everybody was losing their homes. Was on the rise. The girls wanted something to dance to. The girls didn't want to be crying. They wanted to go to a club, forget about their worries. And so perhaps maybe Brandy's music, the perspective she was coming from in the context of, society, is a little, it's a little deep. I don't know. I'm not really like, not, like even though she was giving the sonic elements, like that digital pop feel, it just didn't click. It didn't click. But she did have one
Hey,
song
why the
called
hell did I think Dark Child was Sean Kingston for a minute? I'm tweaking, boy.
Right Here Departed, which did make some noise. I remember this song. So that had a little bit of momentum, but it wasn't enough to really help propel the record and sell a substantial
I like
amount.
this song too.
I wanted the word cuppa, as in cup of tea, but I thought it would be great to mix with pug. When I saw the domain was available, I was like, I'm taking it.
Spoiler, I
I'm
don't give a
marking
shit.
it.
I'm
And
playing.
so this was
Do your thing, play. I'm just not interested.
to be honest with you, for the longest time, Brandy kind of resented this album.
Human was an interesting album because it was more pop driven than anything, and I don't think that was a good decision.
And she actually kind of aired Ronnie Jenkins out. Like she felt like he didn't put his all into the project.
Ronnie Jerkins better give you his best work because he did not give me his best work on Human. The last album, Human, how he didn't put his all into that album, that was a personal thing for me.
By this point, I think it had 73K sales its first week. I think it was declared to have sold 700K records in 2025. So just the commercial appeal was just declining. She couldn't grab her footing. So you start to wonder what commercially went left for Brandy. They seem to be continuously chasing that mid to late 90s dominance that Brandy had found as a teen, and they just couldn't recreate that magic. And after this album, there was a split with Jay-Z's management. She was a part of Roc Nation's management. They parted ways, and she
Oh,
was
did
a
Rock
part of
Nation was
Epic. She only did one
back then
album
too?
with Epic. So now we move forward. 211, released in 2012. The album was named after her birthday,
What
but
the
also
hell?
named after Whitney's passing, the date of her passing, because we know that Whitney was a huge mentor, and the reason why for Brandy, to be quite honest with you. Now, to kickstart and frame this era, she released her single Put It Down, featuring Chris Brown, and that was released in 2012. Now, of course, Chris Brown's presence on the track was somewhat criticized and side-eyed, but this was a confident and assertive side of Brandy's artistry. Heavy hip hop influence, which was kind of the way that R&B was going at that time, so it was very on trend. And this was considered a comeback for her. This was her first top 10 on the R&B hip hop charts in over a decade. The single, honestly, rather helped her re-enter into, the R&B charts versus her trying to gain a new audience. I think in strategy they decided to ditch this whole, okay, I need to become Brandy the pop star again. That's not the focus anymore. I don't need to really prove anything. And at this point, she had moved to RCA Records. Her vocal was far more mature and developed. She sounded grown now. Like, this wasn't about Brandy expanding, but solidifying her spot at this point and her presence as a veteran. Like, I don't really need to compete anymore. I think my impact has been weighted and it's been stamped. I'm just gonna keep making the music that I like to make, and people will meet me where I'm at. So she took a hefty musical hiatus after 2012, where she didn't release albums for a couple albums for a good while, but she embarked on her reality TV series called Brandy and Ray J, A Family Business. And in the 2010s, taking up far more acting roles in films, TV shows. That sheer visibility, there's nothing wrong with it, but probably dead any level of that pop mystique that if they were hoping to revitalize that, like Brandy was Brandy and she was gonna get that check and she was gonna get paid and she was gonna be booked. And I'm gonna respect it. So we have now arrived to the cross-examination. This is where we look at how the artist's impact has been weighed, the opinions of the culture, differing opinions of the culture, and or the backlash and resistance. Start with the coveted vocal Bible title and the debate that has come with it. And people have heard this term be attributed to Brandy, the vocal Bible, with many saying this makes all of the sense in the world, while some people have wondered why. Well, Brandy's voice is seen as a foundation. Ear is impeccable, and she uses her voice as an instrument. The skill, the technique, her production technique. Now, it's not necessarily arguing that she's the greatest singer to walk the earth. I think that's where people get their pennies in a bunch and get really riled up, and it's like, no, 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 no. But it's more about how she utilizes her voice. And this is exemplified through her layers, harmonies, stacking, ad-libs, riffs, and runs. All of the above. Packaged so beautifully to create this pristine sound that many artists aspire to. All of that added together, people say, well, you can learn so much from listening to Brandy. From an emotional delivery standpoint, from a head voice to chest voice standpoint, from the breathiness to the tone, the quality, but also the production technique. So how she's layering, stacking her vocals. Well, you may ask, where does this term come from? The vocal Bible title is not a fan title. It was actually a term coined by her peers, industry peers, like other songwriters, producers, singers. The term initially came from the songwriter, vocal producer extraordinaire Stacey Barth, who has collaborated with Brandy on numerous occasions, and she was on camera saying she's the vocal Bible. She's the vocal Bible. She's been in my life forever. And the term dawned in 2011. But in many ways, Brandy's vocal production, especially the layering, was a major foundation for modern R&B production. The complexities of her riffs and runs and harmonies arguably changed the way that many R&B artists approach their music. So Brandy, back in the day when she was a teen, had met Quincy Jones, and he was thoroughly impressed with her vocal production skill. And he gave her huge credit, saying that her vocal stacking capability was very similar to Michael Jackson's, to a young Michael. And that to so seamlessly sound like one blended, unified voice. A lot of people have theorized that her Full Moon album truly solidified her vocal Bible status, though the title came many, many years later. And she got the formula down to a T. And so a lot of modern day R&B artists have cited specifically Brandy, but Full Moon as being that album that they played around the clock and looked back at to break it apart, to piece it apart, to study it.
I actually don't know any artist who especially in my generation, who stack their vocals and don't have some sort of reference point from Brandy.
I feel like you have to have a special ear to hear all of the nuances.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I started, and I'm not saying to try to be like, oh, Brady, what the fuck is Brady? I'm not saying all that. What I'm saying is, when I started vocal stacking, I just did it because I just started observing. It was funny as hell because I'm over here arguing my engineer. I'm like, damn, why you making this bigger? Matter of fact, fuck it, I'll tell a story real quick. So it was a song that I released when I was Snake Eyes back in the day. It was called Addicted. It was very inspired by LMA Boot Up. I might not actually, that shit not coming. It might not ever see the light of day. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I put it out back in the day, and I'm like, damn, like this shit, the hook sound thin. And then that's when I realized, bro, you need to start stacking your vocals. So then that's when I had the idea to do it, and ever since then, I kind of like me being also an R&B singer as well, I implemented it. So yeah, I'm just talking. That's the run of my mouth.
That you can learn your voice through her choices. Her had said it on occasion.
Like, when I started listening to Brandy, I feel like I got better at singing.
He has that effect on people. I think.
She's the vocal Bible.
A lot of singers have cited Brandy's music and studying it as a guidebook. This helped me practice my riffs and runs. This taught me how to vocal stack. This taught me how to identify a 4-part harmony. Now, there are people who detest this title. There are people who do not agree with this, and they say, even back then, I don't know, I just felt like she was coming.
Hey, you want me to start some more fires? I'm going to do it anyway. All right, bet. So start another fire. I love R&B music. I love as an R&B singer, as an R&B songwriter. I love R&B. My favorite artist of all time is an R&B singer, King Lonnie. Okay, I love R&B. I really do, a lot. But I say this with the utmost sincerity. R&B fans are probably the worst fans in the music industry. Oh shit, god damn, who the fuck said that shit? With a can of Raid, I gotta spray that motherfucker. Yeah, you heard what I said. This is why I say that. To me, R&B fans, and I understand the bar was set very high with Whitney Houston, with Brandy, case in point, with Mariah Carey, Diana Ross, Etta James, Marvin Gaye, so on, Luther Vandross, Michael Jackson, Avant. We can go on, Monica. We can go on and on and on and on and on, okay? About how high the bar was set. But it feels like to me, R&B fans look for something wrong with the track. Like most motherfuckers, when we listen to music to literally enjoy it. R&B fans do not. R&B fans like didn't really hit the notes correctly. Very hard to understand. Is that cursive singing? Like, and it shit don't even make no sense because technically the only cursive I know is writing, so I don't understand how that could even be. I guess because it's like sometimes cursive. Somebody writing cursive, it's hard. It's kind of hard to be legible. I guess they kind of apply to singing. Either way, it's stupid. And then if nobody's belting the fucking house down like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, then they can't sing. Like, motherfucker, no. Like, they don't have to, and not everybody has to be every R&B singers and not R&B fans think that they're fucking A&Rs and think that they're managers, think that they're people in the music industry, and they're fucking not. There's nothing wrong with expressing your knowledge. You have a little bit more advanced knowledge than the average person, great. If you've been in churches, you understand how to sing, you've been vocal coach, classically trained and all that. If you have that, great. But it's a whole different perspective from sitting on the motherfucking bleachers and going out there on the field, being on the road all the time, creating all these songs, having the pressure and demand to upkeep sales. And it's dependent on, you gotta get something to eat. And it's like you being able to produce those sales and have people come to your show, have people buy your merch, have people buy your music. That's your whole livelihood. Y'all never experienced that. It's nice that y'all went to y'all church. It went nice. Y'all be classically trained. You went to perform in our school, this, that, and the third. But that don't mean you fucking know everything. And R&B fans think that they're fucking know-it-alls. And that's why I like to be in the middle. I don't like to be 100% an R&B artist, and I don't like to be 100% a rapper. I'm a melodic rapper. I do I do R&B, then I do hip hop, then I do melodic rap, but really melodic rap. When I'm starting to realize, with me recording over and over again, melodic rap is really my sound. That's really like where I sit at. That's really like if I had to choose, I do what the fuck I want to do, and I think me doing what the fuck I wanted to do actually is probably part of the reason why I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Because the game don't understand. The game got a set of rules, and when you try to go against the rules, it's kind of like you trying to kick a goddamn steel door. You're going to get your leg broken, and it's just like you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to do my shit the hard way, and a way that really is typically not accepted according to the music industry rule book. I'm trying to, because I believe in my greatness, and I believe whatever the fuck I'm gonna do, I'm gonna chart. Everything I'm gonna touch is gonna be gold. Obviously not. I'm gonna have some songs I think is raw as hell. Then it might not do well commercially, or maybe maybe I just look back on and say maybe I didn't. It wasn't that great of a song. You overhyped the shit out of it, and that has happened before. But honestly, like R&B fans are fucking annoying because rather than the average music listener listen to enjoy the music, they listen to critique, and that's what pisses me off about R. That's why I love R&B with the music and the artists, but I hate the fucking fans because the fans think they know every motherfucker. The fans think that they're their manager, they're the PR representative, they're the goddamn A&R, they're the record label executive. You don't know shit until you get to a point where you got a career and the buck stops with you. The pressure for you to sell records is on you. Other than that, you don't know shit. You're not actively pursuing a career. Any motherfucker can sit up there and be able to hit some notes. Okay, great. Write a song, motherfucker, and then sell it, and then have to market it to make people like it. Then that's when you know what the fuck you're talking about when you're actually on the field. So many motherfuckers think that they're you motherfuckers not even coaches. You're not even a fucking equipment manager. Yet you think you know R&B fans think they know every fucking thing. No, you don't. No, you don't. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Bring on the track,
It's a
I
little
didn't
rant.
understand what she was saying. Over the years, Brandy has gotten a critique that she overlayers, and whether it's the way that they're producing her lead vocals, it's either a little too polished or too tuned to where it drowns her out and it doesn't feel as defining. I think some people have discredited her vocal prowess, with some saying, that her voice wasn't that great, that it was a little too nasally, that her range wasn't expansive enough. Because some people equate having this powerhouse vocal as being a vocalist, but vocal work is so much more than just the volume and the height. Her tone, let's not forget, her tone is a big piece of this puzzle. Perhaps they push back because Brandy's not a powerhouse per se, in the traditional sense. She's not the belter.
Lumen Field wants to power game day experiences for 69,000 fans who make sure every snap and tap.
Why are you down there? Because I can't sing as high as you, girl.
One thing that a lot of people liked about Brandy is that she didn't over sing. I love gymnastics, don't get me wrong, but some people don't like all that hooting and hollering on the track. And so Brandy had this mellowness.
Oh, I'm gonna add some other shit too. Y'all ready for this? This what R this there's a couple things that R&B fans typically love to bitch about, and this reminded me the over singing thing. You undersing, can't understand you. Is that cursive? Like, no, motherfucker. I actually have to write something down in order for it to be cursive. But anyway, so they're like, I can't understand you. I need a hearing aid. What did you say? What was it? What was it? That's how they sound like fucking babies crying. like fucking babies crying and shit. So you'll hear that, or if you're singing too much, like I hear this, I see this complaint about A.V. Wilson. By the way, shout out to A.V. Wilson. He's a great singer. Not a good, he's a great singer. You're doing too much. It's too much, Melissa. It's too much, Melissa. Of like, what the fuck? And I had to look up what that shit meant because somebody said it about me. I'm like, bro, all right, whatever, my nigga. Okay, whatever. So like, if I don't sing at all, or I do lead sing, or do half sing, or I take 50% off, you don't have no soul in your voice. You're a ghost. Ooh. But then I put my all into it. You're doing too much. God damn. Is there a fire truck behind me? Shit. Golly. And then on stage performances, they do very little. A lot of standing around. Just standing and singing. Just like even with the Justin Bieber joint, which was actually pretty good on the Grammy. It was a really good performance. He just standing there. Is he waiting to get his driver's license? What the fuck? So you criticize that, and then you'll go to the point where it's like, oh yeah. So then you'll start bitching on the flip side. You'll start bitching about when you get a motherfucker that act like perform like Cisco performs like Genuine. You're doing too much. God damn. Is this a fucking Billy Banks video or some R&B performance? Shit, golly. I promise you, all that weight that you thought that you was gonna lose it right after one performance. Fuck. It's gonna inspire my fat ass to get in the gym. I don't want to do that. Fuck. The only gym I want to be around is the one on Bejeweled Blitz. Son of a bitch. But yeah, R&B fans bitch and complain way too fucking much. It's not all of y'all, but it's way too many of y'all. It's too fucking rampant for my taste. Y'all listen to critique versus just listen, because motherfuckers, okay, you have to be something that's very much wrong to critique, right? And then, as an artist, I kind of fall into this notion too, but I try to enjoy music. Now, if some shit is ass, I'm gonna say it's ass. I don't give a fuck who like it otherwise. I'm gonna say it's ass. All right, but at the end of the day, like R&B fans, y'all suck. A lot of y'all niggas suck. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna say all of you, even though y'all know I don't mean all of you, but I'm gonna say it because I don't feel like trying to correct it at every nuance. Y'all R&B fans fucking stink. I don't give a shit. I'm ready to start fires. It's cold out. It's cold out in this motherfucker. I'm ready to start a fire. I'm ready to goddamn submit my application to be a fucking Boy Scout. You know what I'm saying?
Brandy debuted in '94. An article says, quote, when she was 15 years old, revealed that she was not a belter, nor an octave-swooping walking volcano diva a la Mariah Carey, not a raging waterfall of defiant vulnerability a la Mary J. Blige. Now, of course, she stepped into that, but it was very clear Brandy knew her strengths. Some people didn't love that. It was a transition of the tide. They had almost a conversational tone, like that sing-along R&B.
My music is more mellow, it's more raw. What I mean by raw is it's not a lot of musical stuff into it. It's just more mellow. It's more of a vibe this time.
That people would develop and morph and start making their own style. Where you could low-key credit Brandy in some ways as one of those founding fathers of this progressive R&B wave, this modern R&B wave. And then also, Brandy was approved by the greats. Like, it does get to a point where, as a listener, there's a level of like, I do not do that at this caliber. You are allowed to have an opinion, but when so many of her peers, and not even just peers, but the icons and the legends have lent their advice, who have worked with her, who have shared the stage with her, and have expressed fondness of her voice.
A lot of them in this business, they're cute, they're little, and they sing well. Like little Mariah, little Whitney, little Celine, little Brandy, all those little girls. Oh, Brandy is cute. Brandy's adorable. Yeah.
What do you love Brandy's voice?
Engineers, singers, all respect.
Real quickly, I'm going to start some more fires. Boy, I'm telling you right now, they're going to have to put me in jail for goddamn arson to how many fires I'm going to start. I'm shocked I ain't burned myself yet. All right, let's start another fire. All the quote-unquote divas. I don't know why the old R&B singers especially went out of their way to throw shade to the young generation. Nobody required y'all asses to like the younger generation, but don't go out of your way to throw shade or talk shit. I always thought that shit was corny. See, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna be hopefully I do what I'm supposed to do, but I ain't gonna handle a nigga talking shit. A old motherfucker talking shit, bro. I'm definitely gonna say something back. A lot of these motherfuckers, y'all give them too much grace because they did legendary shit in their career. I don't give a fuck. I want to smoke with anybody. You talk shit about me, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit if you just won a Grammy yesterday. I'm talking shit about your ass. I don't give a fuck if you sold 1 million records last week. You talk shit about me, I'm on your ass, boy. I'm on your ass, son. Stop playing with me, bro. I'm on your fucking ass like a goddamn horseback, boy. Stop fucking playing.
Ah,
Shit.
at one point, do you say, maybe I'm wrong? Mind you, she didn't give herself the name. Her peers did.
This is what I figured out about the whole vocal Bible thing. It's because I've pushed my voice to every limit. I've done everything you can possibly imagine with my own voice.
The next section in our cross-examination is I want to talk about the impact and weight of her as the true teen star blueprint. What will her lasting impact be in that space? We've delved into her teen star status throughout this video, so we're not going to rehash every single detail. But with her 1998 album Never Say Never, critics cited Brandy as being a potential good role model for upcoming artists like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, who had yet to debut. They were preparing for their albums, they were preparing for singles, and Brandy did an excellent job of balancing her life as a singer, an actress, and a role model. Britney and Christina, both ladies, have cited Never Say Never as an influence while recording.
Probably Whitney Houston, of course, and Brandy's album is like incredible. I love her. And like Natalie Imbruglia.
While I was comping the vocal, and before she had to go do ad libs, she was only listening to Mariah Carey and Brandy.
Like they were honing some of that energy. And so Brandy has outlined this possible blueprint for the child child actor to singer pipeline, or the
Hey,
shift.
I'm ready to start some more fires, man. We all going down. Like, what was that one scene in Juice when he was like, when he set the prison on fire? He said, "Top of the world, nigga. That's gonna be me." Let me do that right now. This is what I can't stand. I can't stand the motherfuckers, and this has really happened particularly with black people. When we're confident, it bothers the fuck out of people. When you see a black confident woman or a black confident man, for some odd reason, it bothers the fuck out of people. I don't know why. But like every time we say like, yo, we the best. Oh yeah, I could really do X, Y, and Z. Oh yeah, I'm really capable of it. It bothers the fuck out of people. They be like, just arrogant. You wasn't raised right. You was raised by bears. You need to change your name to Mowgli. What the fuck, you barbarian? How dare you fucking slave be goddamn confident? You're supposed to say yes sir, no sir, bitch. Even if we're the same age, motherfucker. Say that shit anyway, motherfucker. For real. Confident black men and confident black women, for some odd reason, especially, I don't know how it is everybody else, but in America, it bothered the fuck out of people, dog. Like with Shador, with Dion, prime examples. Shador seemed like he a good dude, and they trying to destroy that man. Even Dion was like, man, I ain't watching that shit. But you saw what they did to my son. Like, stop playing. It bothered the fuck out of people, bro. We the only race that can't be aligned now that had no confidence, dog.
So when you have artists like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, who were often credited for this.
Why does Christina Aguilera look like Ashley Tisdale? Whatever.
Boom.
So random ass talk.
Movement that we would see that defined the Y2K era, the late 90s and the Y2K era. While they deserve their credit wholeheartedly, I mean, I love me some Britney Spears very specifically, but in grander conversations, artists like Aaliyah, Brandy, Monica, Maya, Usher are left out of those grander scale.
Usher face is killing me, I ain't gonna lie. He look Max like a motherfucker. He's trying to all fall like a bitch, boy. I'm telling you.
That we didn't get to see her full career actualize. I think Brandy's impact has been underweighed by people who weren't there. Some, like Maya, who had an impactful run, didn't really have as much commercial spotlight for a long span. So some people forget about artists or they didn't even know they existed. Versus like a Britney Spears or Christina
Hey, real
Aguilera.
quick, I watched a Stunning Growth episode of Maya, and you should have seen the comments. That boy, they was mad. They said them motherfuckers was heated, boy. Talk about starting the fire.
Really transcended commercially. The 2000s, the
I feel like
2010s,
goddamn clan meeting this motherfucker. We all gonna be on fire.
Also, let's be real. Some people do not look at Black teens and Black stars as their teen representation. But I do think that these teen stars, if not left out of it, their impact is underweight. Despite coming before them and helping lay that new wave, that new era of teen stars. But a question that stands when things shifted, did Brandy's commercial success translate to the 2000s? The householdification of Brandy halted. It did from the 90s to the 2000s. The industry had new, fresh perspectives. It's the top of a millennium. People are excited for new beginnings. Labels were eager to sign new talent and start defining what does the sound of the new millennium mean? Who's going to win that race? And so you have artists like Beyonce who really blew up solo in the early 2000s. Artists like A. Marie, Tierra Marie, Nivea, Ashanti, Rihanna. A couple of these girls were kind of on the same playing field. And so that pop R&B lane was extremely competitive by the early 2000s, in mid 2000s. So the sheer competition of young women with Beyonce having her meteoric rise in the 2000s, then it became every girl is being compared to Beyonce. Oh, they're not as good as Beyonce. They don't have the spark or the spunk like Beyonce. So that was another thing that I'm sure a lot of girls resented. Like, dang, I have to compete with this, and I'm not even, we're two completely different artists. But there were some mismanagement woes in 2004. She split with her manager, Benny Medina. Then there were reported issues with mismanagement and failed negotiations for a potential joint tour with Usher. That was thrown in the garbage. That didn't even come to fruition. So that is a direct example of Brandy trying to scale and continue to upscale, and her management and team not being on the same page. And I want you guys to think about how R&B and hip hop ravaged the Billboard charts in the late 90s and specifically the early 2000s. But as the 2000s progressed and we got into the later years, R&B singers were fighting for crumbs. Spare me, with no guaranteed crossover success anymore. The songs that dominate the R&B charts and dominate the Billboard Hot 100, it wasn't like that anymore.
Taxes was chasing updates. Taxes is a TurboTax expert, doing it all for you. Chase is feeling. How is taxes. Give me TurboTax.
You want to have a job in the next 5 years. These are the AI rules you need to know.
Not for R&B. So much so that you had R&B artists starting to abandon, or I wouldn't say abandon, but starting to make heavy electronic, digital pop, EDM style singles because that's the direction that things were heading. But everybody didn't want to play that game. So a lot of Brandy's seasoned peers, she suffered from this. The industry was rapidly changing. Everything was starting to move digital. But there was a point where Brandy was like, I'm Brandy. Like, I don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. I don't need to compete in this race. Because in a lot of ways, her legacy and contributions have been stamped. I mean, look at all of the contemporary artists and all R&B artists that would come to fruition due to her framework. Let's get into industry archetype versus industry archetype. The comparison was something that was so.
All right, so I got other shit to do, so we're not gonna finish this. It's just not happening. But first of all, I hope y'all enjoyed today. I'll try to make it an entertaining type of ordeal. You feel what I'm saying? But I hope y'all enjoyed today. Uh, we'll see what's gonna happen on Friday. Sunday we ain't. I'm gonna be trying to record music and shit. See, Thursday I can't do it. I'm got other shit to do. But Friday, Saturday we gonna see what's popping. I'm gonna kind of do everything by ear. I don't know what the hell we gonna do. We gonna do something. We'll figure it out. But until then, I'ma see y'all. tries to get my drink on, motherfucker. Drink water, bitch. The fuck is you still doing? Get the fuck over. Get off.